grad school and started getting into investing. Lightspeed, who we are, we're a pretty large firm. We have about $8 billion in capital across all of our geographies. So we operate out of North America. And Lightspeed, we're most well known. I mean, we actually got started mostly as an enterprise investor, but more recently we've, as in the last 8 years or so, we've been more well known for our consumer investments. So Snapchat was probably our biggest one. We've invested in Stitch Fix, Honest Company, TaskRabbit, Grubhub, Lady Gaga's new house beauty line, Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. I work most with three types of companies. Consumer, so really anything in consumer. That could be e-commerce, experience economy. It could be entertainment, whatever. Future of work / edtech, so that could be consumer or enterprise. And then fintech is another space that I'm looking as well, whether that's enterprise or consumer fintech. And everything else in between. Yeah, our seed investments are very opportunistic, so there's not a specific revenue amount we're looking for. They're opportunistic in that it's either thematic, we've been looking at it for a long time in the space, so we know when we want to get into it. I can't say maybe which metric, but it's a metric we've just never seen before that is like, wow, I don't know you and I don't know the space, but I don't know your specific like industry, but I know that metric is unheard of. Like for Snapchat, the DAU to MAU, Lightspeed hadn't invested in any social media companies really before, but their DAU to MAU at like around 100K was something like 70-80%. I'm mostly looking for something I've never seen before. So it's like super, super outlier. And in addition to all of that, like founder and their passion for the product, the amount of time they've spent, their unique insights about the industry, the way they're able to communicate the founder product fit. I think there's product market fit and then there's founder product fit. And just when it makes so much sense of like, oh, of course this is the person who had to start this company, that's where we always look for those types. I'm big on make your strengths even better and try and make your weaknesses like a little bit better. If you're not technical, you're probably not going to go out and learn how to completely be the best software engineer, but you should try and make that weakness a little bit better by like going and taking a class that's, HTML, CSS. Maybe you take a class that has a little bit of back end in it, but I'm big on like, if this is your strength and this is your weakness, make your strength, like keep pushing it up to here and try and get your weaknesses like a little bit incrementally better. Like you want to constantly level them up, but I think in the end of the day, what makes you you is like your strengths. So just double down on that. I actually did a study when I was at Stanford about how founders learn. I interviewed 50 founders and a bunch of ones that were fairly farther along, like Series B, C, D founders, about what had been most impactful and helpful to them as they were growing as a founder, and they mentioned a peer group of founders was the most helpful. Someone who is not exactly at your level, but like 12 months ahead was the most helpful resource. And creating, it doesn't have to be an official network peer group of founders, but even if it's informal, like they don't know who each other are, but having that, and they constantly thought about on a regular cadence reaching out to them about the most, small pieces of running a business. Now, we've seen the stats, like First Round Capital released something saying that their women founders performed 63 or 68%, I can't remember the exact number, better than their male portfolio founders. And we see this time and time again around just greater outcomes, ROI, let's call it, coming from female founders. I actually was on a panel in Puerto Rico last week talking about this topic. They're like, what's one takeaway you have for the group? I was like, just invest in women, okay? Like, all of this about how you want to make money. If you remember nothing else, just invest in women, okay?